Good night, was it?
Oh, I had a curry last night about 12:30. Still working its way through.
I know a good cure for that.
What's that?
Another one. Right.
Hello, Alan.
Sir?
How are things?
Oh, fine, sir.
I was hoping you might start knocking the lads into shape. We've got some promising players coming up for the ranks. No ball control, unfortunately. Anyway, drop in the office and have a chat.
You want to get some of that? What's that then?
Clout.
Did you see the men about to cross the road, sir?
Look, he had 1 foot on, that's all.
Still failure to accord precedence, sir.
She was on about catching her train, officer. I just...
What? What's he saying?
Are you this gentleman's passenger, man?
Yeah, that's right. Just pick me up.
Get out of the car, please, sir. Are you operating as a minicab, sir?
Look, I saw her trying to flag a black cab. I stopped, that's all.
You do know it's an offence for a minicab to ply for hire, sir? Mr...
Prout. Martin Prout. Times is hard, officer, to get it where you can. It was a one-off, I swear.
It's your car, is it then, sir?
Yes, officer.
Why's the tax disc been altered then, sir?
What? I don't know.
Sierra Oscar from 218 receiving.
Go ahead, George.
It's the dog, I can't breathe.
Give me a check. How long have you had the car, sir?
About a month.
Victor Yankee
Look, what is
Romeo,
this?
please, Steve. A month, you say?
I've got the papers and everything.
Your PNC's come back. It's a brown Granada, registered keeper, Mr. Arthur Selleck of 47 Briary Hill. Not reported lost or stolen.
Bingo.
Prout, you said the name was, sir. I think we'd better take you down to the station, see if we can sort this out, you and your cab. If you'd like to step this way.
He's got a bald tyre and all. Ideally, I'd like to arrange a couple of charity matches.
That'd be great.
Apart from anything else, it would be very good for community relations.
And the lads, are they keen?
Well, that's up to you, Alan. Make sure they are, I mean.
Oh, yes, I see.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Barry. He's got a bald tyre, whoever he is.
Mr. Prout, sir.
Prout.
Yeah, mind you's got a few more problems besides.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Brownlow was all over him. Rugby football, James. A great leveller. Turns grown men into small boys. You ready for the off?
We've got a briefing.
What?
So, what's all this about you getting invites upstairs, Alan?
Yeah, I know. I think I've just landed myself in a bit of bother.
Really?
You got those reports for me, Donna?
Uniform had their copy early on.
This is the whole week, is it?
Yes, sir.
It's 9:30, all right for you?
Sorry?
CID briefing. I think it's about time they found out what you do, don't you?
How long's this all gonna take?
Could be 20 minutes. Could be 6 hours. Got to trace the serial number on the tax disc to the correct vehicle. And we've got to find out why the vehicle you were driving isn't registered to your name.
I'll be losing business through this. There'll be calls piling up. I got to ring Michelle. My daughter, she looks after the phone at the office.
Yeah, okay. Have you looked in the boot?
No, not yet, Sergeant.
Better do it.
Okay.
Mr. Prout, what's in your boot?
What?
The boot of your car. If you can tell us accurately, it might help to confirm ownership.
Jump leads, old anorak, gallon tin of petrol, old A to Z, pages out, toolkit.
Right, if I could have your attention, please. You all know Donna, do you? She's Sunhill's collator.
Yeah.
Good. Because one thing's for certain, there's not many of you know the way to her office, are there, Donna? When there's information to be fed into the system.
No, sir.
The thing is, why tell the collator when I can go it alone?
I tell things to people who need to know.
Well, you make sure that Donna's first in line from now on, Ted. There's no room for glory hunters in my team. If it's private enterprise you're interested in, you're in the wrong business. Donna needs input. Dealers, shysters, pimps, you tell her about them. That way she can keep the lines open. Uniform might even get to know the score. Now, this is their file. They've been feeding us a lot of good stuff. Now, let's have a look at yours.
Come on.
Won't take a second.
Under the heading Court Hearings, I have one item. D.S. Gregg reports that the charges of conspiracy to defraud have been dropped against Mohammed Rahid. And then under nicknames, I have 3, courtesy of D.C. Lines. That's it.
Told you it wouldn't take a second, Jim. Only it better take longer next time. Because from now on, no matter what grief it gives you, I'm going to make you sing.
The thing is, sir, point taken. But sometimes you need to play things close to your chest. I told you about this operation, sir. The surveillance thing with the fella driving the minicab. But we don't need the whole world to know what we're...
Prout is that?
That's right.
Well, you got no more worries on that score.
What?
Uniformer just brought him in.
Well, that's blown it. I mean, Prout's just a bait. We're after Mr. Big.
Well, it's a case of the right hand not knowing what the left hand's doing, wouldn't you say? Have a word in my office, Ted. Thanks for coming, Donna. I'll have to make a regular thing of this. Ted.
I know how you feel.
Don't worry, love. No one's blaming you for landing us in it. Well, not much anyway.
Oh, I'm not worried, Tosh. Because in my books, what the DCI said was spot on.
Right, Ted. Fill me in on this fella Prout. The full story this time.
Well, we had a tip-off last week, sir. This anonymous phone call. The bloke on the other end said that Prout could lead us to one of the thugs that did the Western Avenue post office job. You remember the one?
Yeah.
Well, the woman is still in hospital. They gave her a good kicking after she handed the money over.
There were 2 men involved in that with her.
That's right. And Prout doesn't fit either description we've got. But he's flashing marked money around just the same in betting shops, pubs, and it's mostly in 50-pound notes.
So what's his role in all this?
It could be just a small cog in the machine. Only today we could have found out for sure.
Why?
We had another telephone call yesterday. The informant said to be around Prout's office at about 12:30 today. There was some sort of meeting being set up. Only now that Prout's been pulled in, it's all down the chute.
So what's in it for the informant?
I don't know, sir, but he sounded scared. Like his neck was on the line unless we pulled in Mr. Big. I need Prout back on the street. I need him to be at that meeting today.
That's what I said, see?
Yeah, all right.
Oh, this flipping passenger I had, she had a dog in her bag. I'd never stopped if I'd known. I got allergy to animals. I tell you, I was sneezing all over the place.
I want Prout out of here.
Fancy acting as his brief, do you, Ted?
Going about his normal business ASAP.
I can't bail him till we've done the PNC checks, and you know how long they might take. Any luck?
Still chasing the registered owner of the car, Sarge. There's no previous come up for Prout on the PNC. I'm going to see if Donna can check the local records for us.
Okay.
Just spring him, will you? It's a priority.
I've got a responsibility to the legal keeper.
What? Sarge, I've checked the boot of the minicab and it's like he said, except for one thing. There are several blood stains on the carpet inside the boot.
What?
It's everywhere.
Seat down into there.
There's no evidence that he hit someone.
Nothing on the bodywork.
Still think he's just a cog in the wheel.
I don't know who he is anymore.
We'll need to get surveillance on the office in case somebody turns up for this meeting. Who looks after the place?
Prout's daughter, Michelle. I don't reckon she's in on it, but then, who knows?
This toolkit looks a bit depleted. Not even a spanner.
Looks like our Mr. Prout's got a lot of explaining to do.
Don't reckon we've had any reports of any mispers coming for last night.
Look, I'm particularly interested in anyone who booked a cab and failed to arrive at their destination.
It's needle in a haystack time, isn't it? I mean, the least you could do is provide us with a body.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that, Dave.
Yeah, that new DC's really hot stuff, you know.
Oh?
Yeah. Turn that Boyer and Wood team round. They were total rubbish before he got them.
Well, he may be OK as a coach, Dave. What's he like as a DC?
Hey, Alan, I'm signing up. Make sure we get Saturdays off, will you?
That's not down to me.
Oh, come on, you can swing it. I'll play in the pack, me. Tony plays on the wing with the rest of the girlies.
He's a joke, he is, Alan. You want to see him in a ruck. Hero, yeah.
Right, we'll see. Hey, we're going out. They want us to watch Prout's office, maybe talk to the daughter without putting the frankness on her.
Well, don't take Carver with you, then.
He's not taking me, Dave. I'm taking him.
Hey, what's the problem, pal?
Oh, no problem, pal. It's just I ain't joined your fan club yet.
I've checked the serial numbers. This 50's from a batch stolen in the post office job.
Has Mr. Prout asked for a brief?
No, he just wants to get out of here as soon as possible.
I bet he does.
Sir, we've got hold of the last registered keeper of the car. He did sell it to Prout.
It's the ownership of the blood that interests us now.
That's the office.
So are there any witnesses to this post office job then? Just the woman. It was about 8:30. She thought she heard a noise. She came down, she found them. Now, all she remembers is one was stocky, the other was tall and had, I quote, half a football on his head. But that wouldn't mean anything to you, would it?
How do you mean?
Long-shaped ball.
That's probably a leather baseball cap, then.
It hardly looks like a going concern, does it?
Mind you, I don't suppose people can afford cabs these days.
Look, I bought that car all legal and above board. I never noticed about the disc. It's like a nightmare lately. One thing after another. Only I try, don't I? I'm always trying. Now this.
We're not bothered you've stolen your car anymore, Mr. Prout.
What?
We're more worried about the blood we've found in the boot.
What do you mean? I don't believe this. I was there when the officer checked. He never
As I
said...
understand it, you were rather keen to get off.
Yeah, I got an allergy to dogs.
Don't play games with us, Mr. Prout. We haven't got the time. It's your car, isn't it? We're all agreed on that. So it's up to you to explain how the blood got there.
I don't know.
There was rather a lot of blood, Mr. Prout. And whoever it belonged to, we think they're not alive to tell us about it. So we're going to have to rely on you.
I tell you, I don't know.
Do you often take passengers in your boot?
It's crazy, this is.
Did somebody borrow your car last night?
No.
The keys go missing. Was the lock broken?
Look, I just don't know how it got there. I told you. I'm getting fed up of this. People hassling me all the time. I've just about had enough.
It had seeped into where you keep your spare tyre. Got a couple of spanners missing, by the way.
Look, I need to think, OK? Just let me think.
So how do you know Prout had this meeting today?
We got a phone call.
What?
You know, a tip-off.
Why didn't you mention it?
I don't know, really. Didn't seem relevant.
Thought I was in this up.
You've been brought in on the tail end of the operation.
Start telling me things.
Sure.
Because up to now, it's been like getting blood from a stone.
Right, time's up.
He's ready to crack?
Well, if he isn't, we'll go into his office with a warrant. Turn the place over.
Well, that's going to scare off who's ever calling round to do business today. I'd like to stick with the softly approach for a bit.
OK. But put Woods in to chat to the girl.
Well, Carver knows the score.
Yeah, but he might have been clocked. We need a fresh face. And get some uniform backup.
OK.
You stay put, okay, Jim? We want Woods to have a word with Michelle. Find out what she knows.
Well, why not me, Sarge? I wouldn't mind. She looks nice, she does. I've enjoyed watching her.
DCI reckons it needs a fresh face.
Yeah, OK.
Great.
Well, give us a wave, won't you?
When we bring in Prout, having done all the hard graft, hand him over, and they hair off without a backward glance.
That's why we're called plods, George, didn't you know?
218 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Yeah, head, Oscar.
CID have requested your presence near the offices of Prout's minicabs. Only keep it very low profile, please, George. Just cruise around.
Do what?
Preferably with a paper bag over your face.
I've shut up shop for the day.
It's okay, lab. DC Wood, Sunhill Police.
Where's my dad?
He's okay. No need to worry.
Yeah, there is. He said he'd be home. A mistake, he said. I knew it wasn't, though.
Did you?
I could tell from his voice. It's pathetic it is going after people like him. You ought to be stopped.
We're not going after him, Michelle. We're just asking him a couple of questions.
Same thing.
Okay, if we sit down.
Right, I'd like to ask you about your movements last night, Mr. Prout. How many bookings did you take?
It's no picnic, you know, this job. You try picking up drunks at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Believe me, I have.
They're throwing up in the back seat. Don't even know the name of the street. Their mates blowing smoke in your face. You can't breathe.
No.
A couple of months back, this one got too much. I tried putting him out and he turned on me, punching and kicking like I was some bag of old rubbish.
So is that what happened last night, Mr. Prout?
What?
Someone got across you? Only this time you thought he'd had enough. It was some drunk who thought he'd try it on. Only this time you had a spanner on the seat, did you? You were ready for him.
No.
It's some drunk who didn't get up after you'd hit him. So you shoved him in the boot and dumped him.
No, that's not true. I'm too frightened. I've always been frightened, that's the thing. I hate violence. I do. I can't even watch it on the telly.
But you take money from people who use it, Mr. Prout.
What?
Money you've been flashing about this past week. It was stolen earlier on. There was a robbery on a post office. The woman who kept it was very badly beaten. And you say you hate violence. Do you?
I do, yeah.
Doesn't sound like it, does it? Don't you think you should start telling us things, Mr. Prout? Before something else happens?
It was this fella that booked me. He gave it me.
You must have been charging well over the odds.
It was him. I swear it.
A long ride, was it? Several long rides.
Oh, I didn't drive him. He did that himself. I hired the cab from me so he could use it at night. It was after what happened. Getting done over that time, I was frightened to go out at night. So when he started flashing all this money around, I thought, well, why not? I needed the cash. And he said that he'd look after us, me and Michelle. No one would bother us, not while he was around. But I didn't know where the money came from. I swear it.
And his name?
He called himself Biffo. That's all I know. Sounds like some kind of clown, doesn't he? Only he wasn't. I saw him with this woman once. He told me to stop and pick her up. Said he fancied a bit of fun. And he got out of hand. I should have done something then. Only I knew if he turned on me, I wouldn't get up again. Michelle stood up to him, though. He liked her. I could see that. That frightened me, too. What if he goes there? What if she tells him where I am?
It's okay. We've sent some officers in. They should be there now.
But she thinks she can stand up to him, Michelle does. She might not let on he'd been in case it got me into trouble.
Well, let's hope she does let on, Mr. Prout, for both your sakes.
How about you, then? Can't be much fun stuck around this place. Have you any plans to strike out on your own?
I couldn't leave him.
No?
Mum left him. He got more hopeless after that. Don't know why. She treated him like he was dirt. I couldn't do it to him again. Why did you come here?
Check you're okay.
No. You came to snoop, didn't you? See what else you can lay on him. You've got it in for him, you have.
Look, Michelle, we're just...
Know what he does? Shall I tell you? Save you the bother of snooping some more. He hires out his cab nights because he's too scared to go out there himself because you lot aren't doing your job. Letting people be terrorised. OK, so the fella that hires it pays over the odds, so what? At least he looks after us. Doesn't let us get hurt.
Must be quite a fella.
Donna, have a look in the nickname box. Biffo.
Just happened to have it to hand. I've had another couple from Tosh already.
And from tomorrow on, Donna, you'll hear it from me as well.
You may have to join the queue. Right, Biffo, you said. Here we go, Biffo. Paul Anthony Farrell, sometimes known as.
I wondered when he'd turn up again. And he had a crony. What's his name?
There's a cross-reference here with a Colin Ritchie.
Richie, that's it. Come on, Ted.
Thanks.
You don't know what it's like being afraid.
Don't worry. I have my moments.
You've got your mates behind you there, haven't you? You got one outside there now.
Have I?
Yeah, because you're always in pairs.
Who told you that? This fella?
He's got your number all right.
Still here, is he, Michelle?
What's all this noise you've been making upstairs, eh? You don't half move fast. Thing is, he's about 10 steps ahead.
When was the last time you saw this fella in Michelle?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would, yeah.
He looks after us, OK, which is more than you do.
Look, if he's who we think he is, he's dangerous, Michelle. Don't get taken in.
I can handle him.
He was here, wasn't he?
So what?
Oh, when he left. He did leave, did he? Where was he heading? Michelle!
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting him early. He just turned up. And, well, I was upset. I told him about you lot, Nick and Dad, taking his cab. He got angry then. I had to calm him, push him out the door. He said you lot would turn up, only you didn't scare him. He'd show me, he said. I kept saying, clear off.
What's your mate telling her, huh? What's he telling Michelle, eh? Hey? Oh, it doesn't matter, I'll ask him, because he's next. What's he telling her, eh? Hey?
Sierra Oscar from Woods receiving. Urgent assistance.
On our way. Know what your problem is, do you, copper? Breathe it.
It's gone again, hasn't it?
Calm down! Got him, got him. Sure you don't want him, lads, eh?
He's all yours, George.
Good stuff.
Says his name's Biffo. Any use?
We've had him on our list for a long time. Well, that is serious crimes, Ab.
Same thing, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Why didn't you clear off like I told you to?
I didn't know what those two yobbers from the yard would do to you. I was looking after you, see. Come on, pal.
I want to see my dad.
Don't worry, we'll take it.
I'll just get my coat.
I reckon we've seen the last of his crony, Richard, Ted. I got a feeling he ended up in the boot of Prout's minicab, minus rather a lot of blood.
Falling out among thieves, huh?
Could be. Richie was your informant. Are the lads okay?
Just.
Well, that'll knock you out of training for a bit, won't it?
Yeah.
Put you out of favour with the knobs, that will.
It's okay by me.
Anyhow, that tackle.
What?
That was a foul, wasn't it?
Eh?
So I.
You reckon?